Hidden in the jungle, Lara Croft stalks her prey, taking them down one by one. Her desperation to outthink Trinity almost causes the world to end, but her destiny is fulfilled as she finally takes up the mantle of the Tomb Raider. The third and final outing in Lara Croft's origin trilogy, Shadow of the Tomb Raider, brought Lara to Mexico in one of the most visually stunning environments she's ever been in. Puzzles are full of variety and exploration, and while the game tries to take risks, it ultimately falters on this promise, but it's still a game people missed out on. However, I'm not here to review the game itself. No, I'm here to ask, where is the game's replayability? So, to elaborate on that, let's talk Rise of the Tomb Raider first. It has a huge variety of game modes and DLC. These include Chapter Replay in both the normal mode and in Score Attack, Chapter Replay Elite, which allows the player to use upgraded skills and equipment from the main game, Remnant Resistance, where you help the remnants fight to take back the valley by either creating or playing custom missions, Endurance, where Lara explores the Siberian wilderness for artifacts and must survive by staying warm and gathering food, either alone or in online co-op. Cold Darkness Awakened finds Lara infiltrating a Soviet research base to find the source of a chemical weapon and shut it down. Infected enemies lurk in the darkness, and Lara can easily be overwhelmed if she isn't prepared. Lara's nightmare is set in Croft Manor and sees the Tomb Raider battling through tight corridors as she gathers weapons and ammo to defeat the nightmare surrounding her. Blood Ties was a new story that saw Lara at the rundown Croft Manor, searching the complex, reminiscing of the past while trying to find information to get her fortune back. Baba Yaga, the Temple of the Witch, is set within the main story of Rise of the Tomb Raider and can be completed any time after reaching a certain point in the main story. In it, Lara teams up with the local to investigate the witch Baba Yaga, which forces Lara to question if what she's seeing is real or not. Besides these extra modes, packs of new outfits, weapons, and cards for the card system that could either hurt or help the player, should they choose, were also released. So, if Rise of the Tomb Raider has all of that, Shadow of the Tomb Raider surely must have expanded upon these concepts, right? Well, sure, there's a New Game Plus mode which really helps use all those skills you didn't get a chance to utilize in your first playthrough, and challenge tombs of the main game tombs. These can be replayed in Score Attack, Time Attack, or in a standard exploration mode. 7 packs of DLC were also released over the span of 7 months after the game's release, with each bringing in additional challenge tombs, outfits, weapons, and a skill. Some of these tombs could even be played in co-op online. Each tomb also carried an additional narrative story, which wasn't dependent on the main game story, but expanded upon characters and the area. These narratives can be found on the map in the main game and can be completed at any time. Overall, in comparison to the previous entry, Shadow of the Tomb Raider didn't get a whole lot of modes to easily dive into. Therefore, the following is what I think should have been added to Shadow of the Tomb Raider to really expand upon the game and add to its replayability. Let's start with an obvious, Chapter Replay. Too many games these days are getting rid of Chapter Replay, and it's a damn shame. Sure, I can replay the game from start to finish, and that's not an issue. The games are becoming bigger, with larger open worlds rather than linear style. Sometimes I like to play certain parts again without having to start from the beginning. Tomb Raider's no stranger to level select. Older games had cheat codes for this, or levels were unlocked to replay later, and as said earlier, even Rise of the Tomb Raider had chapter select. Shadow of the Tomb Raider is such a beautiful game with some awe-inspiring moments, and to not be able to immediately jump into those moments is really disappointing. One mode I really wanted to see make a return was Endurance. Think about it, Lara could traverse through the jungle by climbing, swinging, swimming, and using stealth when she comes across Trinity enemies. Underground caves could lead to treasures, but the Yakshil lurk about and can overwhelm Lara. Small villages are throughout the layout, allowing Lara to take a breather, purchase items like weapons and materials for crafting, or even take on missions from locals like collecting a certain number of relics or eliminating a clan of Trinity soldiers. Co-op could make a return, with the other character being a differently dressed Lara, or appearing as Abby or someone else. Endurance mode was one of the best bits of Rise of the Tomb Raider, with this endless fight for survival that could be played solo or with a partner. And the card system added a variety in how easy or difficult each session was. For them to not make this second Endurance mode in a new environment, they really missed out on a good opportunity. It was probably one of the most requested parts that the game needed to have. Croft Manor. Yes, Croft Manor is in the game. We see it once in the flashback to Lara as a child, and in the ending where we see Lara in her father's remodeled office. We even received a Croft Fitness outfit when the definitive edition of the game was released. but had no Croft Manor to use it in. That would have been the perfect time to bring back the manor and to celebrate the Definitive Edition's release. After seeing it in disrepair in the Bloodlines DLC of Rise of the Tomb Raider, to be able to fully explore what was seen then, on top of new rooms which showed the improvements Lara made to the manor. Maybe like Tomb Raider Legend, show us Winston, Jonah, maybe Abby in the manor itself to bring some life and interaction. Perhaps gardeners are outside tending to the garden. Show us the lifestyle Lara has now that she has her fortune back. A gym and a pool located in the mansion would give Lara a reason to really use that gym outfit without having to go through the jungle. A lot of people didn't like it, but Shadow of the Tomb Raider is a great game. Not perfect, but that's alright. There's a ton of love crafted in the environments and in the exploration. 7 packs of DLC added a lot to the game to keep players like me coming back for more. But further additions to the game could have made an excuse for players to come back for even more stuff. By the time the Definitive Edition came out, my hopes for many of these possible modes were slashed. Fingers crossed that the next game in the series offers more modes to play to extend the game's lifespan without resorting to endless microtransactions or disastrous live service like Marvel's Avengers. Tomb Raider has been going on for 25 years, but as times change, games change, and the game really needs replayability. So, should Shadow of the Tomb Raider have had more modes? Let me know in the comments, and while you're at it, like, subscribe, and ring that bell. It really helps me grow my channel. Thank you so much, and as always, I'll see you in the next video.